dimensions, histograms. Again, if you put the time against something else, you already take the dimension. So I found interesting to actually take the parallel coordinates approach where every dimension is on an axis. So here we have about 20 dimensions. It's a proxy logs, right? So how many lines of logs do you think we have here? Who said 10,000? Who is for 10,000? 10,000? Yeah? 100,000? Only you? Yeah? I don't know, 500,000? Pretty big, right? Yeah? 10 million? No, it's 1 million. It's just 1 million of information that is true. So something interesting here is that when you look at this, you don't understand what's happening, right? You don't see what's behind. But something I can tell you is that in those 1 million of events, right here on the category, all the machines came to this category. So now let's find another usage of parallel coordinates. We want to find a successful attack in less than 1 minute of logs, right? So we have actually 3 axes. The one on the very left is the authentication axis, the one in the middle is the user axis, and the one on the right is the source IP address. So what can we see here is that it's actually 2 million lines of logs, and it's a machine on the internet that was running SSH server that got broken. We can see some diamonds right here. You have this IP sweeping the user axis. Actually, it means that you have one IP address that is sweeping all the different users of your machine, and maybe some that don't exist. So I said 1 minute means that we colorize according to the frequency of the events appearing. We get the most frequent event. We locate one IP address. We go back. We see this IP address. We remove all the other events. And what do we see here? I don't know if it's visible on the slides. You have failure authentication and successful authentication. It means that you have this IP address that had a lot of failures with all of the users and one successful attempt. It means that you found someone breaking into your machines within such a large amount of logs, just like that. So, as a conclusion, I say that data are obviously lost in the noise of events today. It's really hard to manage all those events. This scale, the tools we use, it's not easy. If we are creative, we may be able to solve this issue. I mean, leave Snort where it is and use it for what it is, and it's a good tool, right? But find other ways of also resolving the same issue. And it may not be pattern matching. If we have some technical limitations, we need to find ways around them. There is never any technical limitation. I mean, you are hackers, guys. You know that. You know that when something is impossible, it's possible. So don't worry. We just need to be creative. And unfortunately, I find that we are not creative enough in this field, even though it's important for us when we do forensic analysis. All right. So do you have any questions?
The library your graph are made of, does it come from the software? Do you have a library, something making it? Or
yeah, it comes from Pigviz.
Okay. You mentioned that like we're always one step behind when we're looking at logs. Have you seen the research that John Flowers has done with his Kane box? Basically, it's replacing a firewall and looking at TCP streams instead. So that, according to what it's learned, it uses Lisp for it, I believe, it decides whether certain communication channels are malicious or not.
Yeah, and it's one way to resolve this issue. There are several ways of resolving this issue. In the 90s, when people first started with intrusion detection systems, they first created some automated alerts, right? When the CPU was high, you would get an alert, anything that was suspicious. It was dropped in the end because it was too hard to sustain, simply because you had too many false positives. So what worked after was the signature base. So there is this anomaly base, right? And I think that if you look at net flows and you have a reference, and then you do the difference with this reference, and you don't move your network too fast, it may be one way to solve this. But again, you may face also false positives. It's not easy, it's just one way to do it. Yep. No question? All right. So thank you.